When it comes to the concept of being transported to another world, there is definitely no shortage in anime, manga, and light novel. And it's unfortunate because whenever a show comes along that kind of transcends this concept, it's very difficult to get people to pay attention to it. It's something that I experienced with Gringar and Fantasy and Ash. It's something I experienced with Ascendance of a Bookworm. ReZero, not so much. That ended up getting its own fandom. But thankfully, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation is one of those similar to ReZero, what it is getting a fandom, and it's rightfully so. This is a series that is definitely transcending the genre and is standing out to be probably easily the best isekai show of all time. But yes, this is my review of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, a series that aired back in winter 2021. Ran for 11 episodes, and thankfully we'll be getting more adaptations hopefully here in the future. And this is my review of it, so let's jump right into it. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation opens up similarly enough. You have a main character who's in the modern times, gets transported to another world, learns magic, goes on adventures, meets adventurers, all that kind of stuff. But it's all the details within that that make it transcend most isekais. It's the focus on Rudy as a character, his previous life, where he was bullied to the point where he was a shut in. The fact that in his new life, he still has that trauma in his life, inability to go out and meet new people and trust to meet other people. It's his reliance on his previous knowledge that gets him into trouble, or sometimes cases helps him manipulate people. Like there's a case where he manipulates his father using his mind of an adult that is now in his childlike body. It is the people that he meets within the world, the lore within the world, the expansions that they have been doing over just a short 11 episodes. It still to this day, dumbfounds me that this show only had 11 episodes, but still managed to cover so much stuff. Managed to introduce so many characters that I immediately fell in love with. You have so many of these characters that we get brief moments with, or some cases we get a lot more. With cases like Ares, we get pretty much a lot of storytelling with her. But each character they're introducing, I immediately fell in love with based on the fact that how the story is presenting the characters, showing the flaws within them, showing the overcoming that they have throughout their time on screen. It's the attention to detail within this world as well. You have the Grey Rat family itself, the history of the war, the Superds, the different races within the world, the in often cases racism within the world itself, the different tongues that they have within the world. There's a significant use of the demon tongue that we learn, and they actually utilize it in a way that is not actually Japanese. It's actually a spoken language within this world. It's all these little intricate details they're actually presenting that just breathes so much life in this world. And it's a world that is incredibly animated at this point. Studio Bind is cementing itself in its first project to be probably one of the greatest studios of all time. Just the absolutely fantastic animation that was presented throughout the series, incredible stuff that, like I said before, actually breathes life into the story. It is such a gorgeous show that the moment that you're watching it, you immediately believe it and you get sucked into the world and its gorgeous beauty that they're kind of presenting you. And then that with the action scenes, the magic casting, all this stuff. Like the action scenes aren't really in a case where most shows kind of go with the whole idea of super fast, clang, 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 clang. This one's actually fluid animation. It looks incredible. Just the blades of grass flowing in the fields, the hair flowing with the wind. All that stuff is these minute details that most studios overlook or can't manage either through production quality or funding. It is stuff that adds detail and life to the world. It makes believability within the world itself. And then you couple this in with the storytelling itself, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. It is striking that with only 11 episodes, we got into so much stuff. We got into the Grey Rat family that Rudy's a part of. We got into Rudy himself and his inner struggles that he has, his old pervy self versus his new I have to grow up kind of self that he is now kind of growing into as a character. It is the his parents and how they were adventurers. It's the infidelities they run into, the Grey Rat family and Eris's parents, the Rizud and the whole concept behind the Superds and the possible betrayal that happened back in the war. it covered so much stuff, and what's really crazy is that it never felt rushed. It never felt like information dumps was ever happening. And I think that's a tribute to just both excellent writing and fantastic storytelling that they did with this adaptation. I am absolutely blown away by the fact that we've covered so much. We've been so submerged in this world, almost to the point of drowning in so much information and lore, and yet it never felt rushed, and it was only 11 episodes. And it's insane of how much I love these characters as well. Every single character they presented, I absolutely fell in love with. Rudy as a character has grown so much. He's turning out to be one of the greatest main characters of all time, easily. Mainly because it's this whole aspect of the struggles in his previous life and the growth that he's having in this new world, the troubles he's facing, and all the growing up that he's doing over this time. Not just his actual body in this other world, but him as a maturing adult growing anew within this world. It is definitely a restart within his life that is being told right in front of us. Roxy, I loved her the moment she came on screen. She's absolutely adorable. I love her character design, and I just want to see more of her. Sylphie, her being abused and kind of, regaining life within Rudy helping her. Rizard, which I am absolutely fascinated by, and I cannot wait to see more of him, his tribe, and what he's doing going into the future, and his struggles with his own blood. Eris is just a fantastic tsundere. She's like the perfect telling of a tsundere. Just you have those attributes of a tsundere, but she transcends it, and she is an absolute treasure to be on screen every time. I love her comedy. I love her almost kind of immature self. She's just an awesome. She kicks total butt at the same time, right alongside Rijard. Uh, Rudy's parents, I mean, in all their flaws, I love them to death. Ghislaine had for a brief moment, but she was absolutely incredible as well. Very, very deadpan humor, but she was just another treasure to have on the screen. Just a fantastic cast that every time one is thrown on the screen, I fell in love with them immediately, and I love what they did end up doing with each of the characters, even for a short period of time that we do have them on screen. Which brings me to the point of the comedy itself. I think the comedy is absolutely perfection. Mainly because the timing of it is so well paced, and every time a moment comes up that is comical, its execution is perfect. I mean, going back with the whole goofy thing of Roxy and how Rudy stole a pair of her underwear just as a memento and a treasure that he keeps. Ghislaine and the letter that Paul left Rudy to read. The ring of protecting against the wolves. Like all these things, like most every single scene that Eddie's is in, they're just comedy gold, and they're so executed well. They don't affect, crucial serious moments. They manage to balance that so excellently. It never kind of feels like the serious moments, the neutral moments, or the comedic moments ever clash. It is just that well executed. But I seriously can go on and on. I have to stop myself. This is technically one of those series that I feel like I'm never going to do it justice. I have recorded this several times. I am absolutely nervous talking about it just because it's a series that I want people to hear me. That this is definitely going to go down as probably one of the best shows of all time. It is possibly going to go down. It is easily going down as possibly my number one favorite isekai of all time. It's very difficult for me to dethrone A Sentence of a Bookworm. I think it does transcend ReZero, and I know I'm probably getting a lot of heat for that, but it's hard for me to say that as well because now I'm thinking about ReZero and all the great moments that it had within it. It's very hard to say that. But at the same time, ReZero has had a lot more time to work with. And I think with this series getting more adaptation in the future, I'm wondering if it's going to dethrone that as well. But yeah, it is a series that I want people to pay attention to. I'm hoping most people are already, but is a series that I think is going to go down in history as probably one of the best anime of all time. It just has all the makings of it. It is the storytelling, the animation, everything is being done pretty much to perfection at this point, and I cannot wait for more of it. And that is a true sign of a show that is definitely going to go down in the history. So I hope people enjoyed my review of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Definitely, if you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of it if you did check it out, or let me know if you are going to check it out. Always love hearing when people go, "Hey, man, thanks for telling me about this. I'm gonna go check it out now," or "Hey, I checked it out because you said that and I loved it." Nothing pleases me more than that. But if you haven't already, please subscribe. And I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and y'all take care.